So you clicked on the video or followed the link to learn about the Frenzy perk. It reads, being in combat for an extended time increases damage, handling, and reload for this weapon until you're out of combat. What does that mean though? Let's be specific. When it says increases damage, that is plus 15%. And for a weapon like Fatebringer, it's still going to be a 3-shot kill. It's not magically going to make it 2-tap. So for some, they already throw the weapon away and think that's useless. But I'm telling you, the precision ratio is everything. Not having to hit as many headshots will help you so much. Perk should be active in a sec. We will see. Alright, so I'm back at 0. When it says in combat, that obviously means giving damage or taking damage. Notice I didn't just say shooting. It can be abilities too. So if I took damage from that trip mine, yes, it counts. So perk should be activating now. There it is. What I'm trying to do for you in this video is to help you develop an internal monologue for keeping this perk active as long as possible. Had I got shot by that person there, the perk would still be active. I could even walk in this Wither Horde if I wanted to. So this is kind of contingent on people pushing and being somewhat aggressive. Luckily, Gemini Jesters does count for this, so I could get damage through the wall. And so what you'll find is this is like a performance-based Dragon Shadow. Then body shot. I was very specifically trying to aim for the body just to illustrate this. So head, and then body. I tried to aim for the body. He actually flinched me to the head there. And now I'm dead, which is perfect. I want to show the perk from 0, and I will count out loud. I do somewhat think of this in my head, my internal monologue, whenever I'm playing the game, so I can intentionally activate it. But this does line up very naturally with my playstyle as is. So there's the duel. 2, 3, 4, 5. Looked at the wrong door. Before I hit the number 6, I want to be doing damage. Or taking damage. Or Gemini Gesturing. So that's how you have to train yourself to play. And this is a winning playstyle, by the way. This, I wouldn't call this playing aggressive. I would call this keeping the advantage. Keeping the pressure on the opponent. So I'm using explosive rounds, which can splash damage, which really helps with this activation. So there we have Gemini Gestures. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's reset. 2, 3. Reset again. 2, 3, 4. Extended that fight. Should be activating now. Geminis went in. Performance-based Dragon Shadow. And yes, Golden Gun works too. Losing my perk here. He went for me instead of the power ammo side. That's fine. Again, I'm just trying to play for examples, not play to win. Okay, so we're at 0. Perk is fully reset. When I say reset, sometimes I mean the interval, so I'll be more specific there. 5-second intervals. That's one interval counts. Golden Gun counts, remember? As long as I land a shot on somebody, this is the perk. So since I can't see anybody, I'm gonna hope that the knife works. It did. This is why I play Top Tree Gunslinger. This is why I use Gemini Jesters. They're already good, but they become even better with this perk. And if I wanted to, I could be fighting this Dawnblade with an extra 15% on my shotgun. Unfortunately, I can't also have Vorpal Weapon, which is, funny enough, 15% as is, just no activation. So Frenzy is essentially Vorpal Weapon. So in situations like this, I want to be fighting, not taking cover immediately.
Hunters like you blaze a path for the rest of us.
Take damage? Almost. Wow. So that guy probably had the right resilience to survive that, or I was far enough away. My rocket launcher has the threat detector perk, which does work for assisting a Gemini Jester proc. Like, watch. There's threat detector. Loses radar. Dead. Splash damage. Etc. Performance-based Dragon Shadow. So your internal monologue should be starting to keep track of time. Every 5 seconds. Take damage, deal damage. Not 100% sure if ricochet rounds or fall damage counts into this, or Titan Barricade, but I don't worry about those kind of things yet because the competitive guns don't really have ricochet rounds, with the exception of Borrowed Time, but good luck getting that gun. So on Fatebringer, crazy enough, if I got a range masterwork here, the stat line would read 50 handling and 50 reload. Which, again, Frenzy is a plus 50 to both of those. So when Frenzy's active, it goes from half in the stat now to maxed. Shotgun can say the same thing. Now, the problem with running Surplus on a Found Verdict is that the alternative roll is so much better. You have opening shot up 100% of the time. The only activation is it has to be your first shot, which you're always doing. So essentially no activation cost for opening shot. Activation cost for Frenzy, 12 seconds of combat. So, given the choice between Frenzy and opening shot, you're almost always going to go for opening shot on this gun. Unless, of course, you want to be very aggressive with your ability usage so that you can cycle Surplus. For Surplus, you have to maintain 3 abilities. And if you notice on Hunter, Gambler's Dodge always refunds a knife. So you can at least get net neutral on that. So the thing about Surplus is you lose an ability. Now it's instead of a plus 50, it will go to a plus 25. And then if you're down to 1 out of 3 abilities, it goes to plus 5. I'm using an Adept Handling mod to boost another 10 handling, and I could get another 10 from this masterwork. And yes, while Barrel Shroud isn't the best barrel here, I would prefer Full Choke. You have to imagine that aggressive shotguns are good for a reason. Bungie deliberately made these have low handling because they're so consistent for shotgunning. You don't have to be accurate with an aggressive shotgun to get the kill, which is why I like using them, because when you play good players, they move very erratically, and the netcode on this game is not the best. So Gemini Jester through the wall. Swarm nade out, maybe it gets the hit. Try to splash, not enough, let's just reload. And look for another Frenzy activation somewhere else since he wants nothing to do with me. Beautiful knife. That is my activation. We know what he's about to do. Unfortunately, he didn't fight. So, Fractus does have a faster fire rate than the aggressive. That's fine, I'll take that death. I was going to get meleeed anyway by Striker Titan there, so not much I can do. People seem to be a little bit more cautious and afraid of me this game, which is bad for the perk. I hear Vex Mythoclast spun up somewhere. Is that a bow? That is a bow. Maybe perk? I'm going to go ahead and throw that knife really far, just on the off chance it does damage. Since I just pulled power ammo and I'm guaranteed a pretty free kill. Above. I want to get my health back before I fight this. That's what I was looking for. So Frenzy really can be a test of your aim. Because when you see targets across the map, if you land damage, that extends your combat timer. The lightning grenade was really good. But I didn't know if it was facing my back. It wasn't. Wasn't about to whip 180 just to double check that I was going to go take the duel. But that's fine. If someone uses an ability to get a kill, no problem. I waited a little bit too long. Or rather, I went too early into that spawn. I was trying to go early so that I could hit Gemini Jester on somebody who would run away from me. Did he just jump off the map? He did jump off the map. Wow, yeah, they really are afraid of me this game. Nice. Frenzy can still activate off Golden Gun. 2 bullets. He's gonna run away, right? Of course. I'm fine taking that death as long as he doesn't challenge immediately. But there was also a chance I just won that duel outright. I will finish that thought I had before this game started, by the way. Should have been fighting with the primary, not sprinting, but I think he has last word, so that's why he's trying to get within 20 meters. Finessed. Pay attention to radar. Should give away exactly what's about to be happening here. Excellent. Trying to bounce off the ceiling into that spawn. Unlucky. Still a little too early. No splash. Ooh, 2 heads. We take those. He's gonna activate the knife. I got flinched off, but there was also a guy to the left, so I'm not worried about that whatsoever. One slightly better knife throw, and I won that, so. That's the thing about Destiny, is sometimes you have to understand when you made a right decision, but maybe like slight execution error, and just tell yourself to make that same decision again. Oh, much better. So someone was probably AFK this match and I just never saw them, or they're just playing a bit more passive than usual. It did come down to execution to keeping this perk alive a bit more for me, but it did come up. So anyway, what was my thought process? Yes, since the stats are getting boosted to exactly 100, you could take advantage of some weird perk combos like having both Tunnel Vision and Frenzy so that you get 100 reload. So Tunnel Vision, you get a kill and reload. You have 6 seconds of really juiced aim assist. Like, it's impossible to miss a shot. Of course, you're giving up explosive payload, but I'm telling you, you will not miss a shot. If you get flinched or something, you will not miss. It will hit them in the face. And with Frenzy, since you don't even have to shoot them in the face, you can get body shots even, it's going to win you almost every duel, even when you're out of range. And I would say Killing Win also falls in that category. So there are some unique synergies. For example, I could have Frenzy plus the proximity grenades, and it will one-shot, because 15% damage is enough to make proxy grenades one-shot. Frenzy on borrowed time. Amazing. Look at the handling right here. Don't even have the handling masterwork. It's almost 100. So when this activates, it's like having quick draw. The perk is useless until it gets activated, sure, but rangefinder alone on borrowed time already makes it a bested slot. And when you're talking a 1 out of 12 chance to get the gun, you might as well take Frenzy. Of course, I'm curious about the ricochet round thing. Any other Frenzy comments? Yes, the sudden death shotgun. My white whale, this one eludes me. Threat detector. I taught you about using it on my heavy weapon to finesse people through the wall. I would prefer to have it on my shotgun, because if I'm using a shotgun, I'm always in close quarters. So it makes sense on a sudden death. Even though a sudden death is slightly worse than Found Verdict, the frenzy roll on Found Verdict is dead in the water because opening shot exists.
You'll find no allies on this battlefield. Fight.
So let's play one more. Really iron it out. Let's take damage to that trip mine intentionally. Perfect. Nice. My shot's not too good right now, but you saw that I took damage, took the risk, and I got rewarded. Sometimes you will have your shotgun out and not have enough time. Even with the frenzy active, right, in the quick draw, you won't have enough time to get to your primary. So you have to teach yourself to take a shotgun shot way out of range.
Hunters like you blaze a path for the rest of us.
Normally people put grenades where they want you not to be. So it's very, very useful to use that against them as like a little mini mind game. No extension. I was gonna say, you can't be serious. Has to be a chaperone. I want to take the fight. Beautiful.
This is their fate.
Long lane. Knife might have done it. It did not. Oh, it definitely did it there. So find where they are. Again, the name of the game is putting pressure on your opponent. Not playing aggressive. Not playing stupid. Think I'm dead? No, I'm good. I'm good. Put my back to that. Maybe I can get them in time. Luckily, I have a golden gun.
Only 5 minutes.
Ooh, good for him. So Gemini Gestures take one of the major weaknesses of Golden Gun out of the equation, which is that normally when you pop it, people run away. And I'm perfectly okay with wasting my Golden Gun to deaths like that. That doesn't embarrass me. That's just what you sign up for whenever you use Golden Gun. The super has an ability to pop off, but you can also get bullied.
One final push and victory is yours.
Didn't quite have my reload ready, but frenzy's up. 2 bullets, put a shot in, reload. There we go. Keep the perk active. Misdirected. So he's left. I tried to keep it active there. Knife might help keep this perk. Need to work inside cover here. Okay, never mind. Committing to the next duel. sometimes you can play with your food, even against good players, where your goal is to try to just stay in a fight as long as possible when you know you've 100% secured it. Things like Thorn can help you activate Frenzy for a different weapon for that same reason. So that's not like an ego thing. You're not saying you're better than your opponent. You're just playing your advantage. There are people who have much better shots than me or much better players that I would still make a similar decision line. Where, let's say for example, they're weak behind a corner. They've already used their hunter dodge. Instead of me just splash damaging Fatebringer the entire way, I might just shoot a shot, keep them weak. Shoot a shot, keep them weak. Shoot a shot, keep them weak. And then wait 2 or 3 seconds, throw a swarm nade, and then just run away. And as the swarm gets the kill, Frenzy activates for the next person. And that kind of decision-making process means that you are leaving the gunfight with performance-based Dragon Shadow, your 15% damage. And as long as you start thinking of how to finesse the perk, that internal timer, perk combos like tunnel vision and extending those, you'll think about it less and less the better you get at it. And eventually you'll just be able to play the game normally. Like I said, the playstyle isn't aggressive, it's just putting pressure on your opponent. And with Gemini Jesters, it works in perfect harmony because you're taking away their radar, which gives you the agency to push forward in the first place, which allows you to put damage in again because now they have to guess what direction you're coming from. And even if they use Gemini Jesters against you, remember, they're damaging you too. So they're extending your frenzy for trying to use your own tactics against them. A lot of fusions. Oh no, 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 no. Too much chaperone. And since that guy has SMG, he's never going to take a duel with me. So I could play bottom tree gunslinger, go for thresh on this, try to get an earlier super, but I miss out on the explosive knives, which, as you've already seen in this commentary, are worth their weight in gold for extending frenzy. When I dropped off the block, I thought I was safe from that angle. He was much wider than I thought. So it looks like no one's farming that spawn. Frenzy off one person, by the way. I could die to my own knife. It is a possibility.
You have my respect.
Huge. So I do have one with extended mag for those situations. So I looked to that left corner because someone could have been crouching there. I just wasn't keeping up with the game enough. I'm hesitant pushing those really long lanes in case they have a pulse or a scout. DMT is super effective for that reason. There's my damage in. Frenzy active, right? Beautiful.
No enemy can hide from us, Hunter. Strength in numbers, Guardian.
Oh man, melee lunge and chaperone. That was too much to deal with for me. Nothing. No splash, nothing. Just cutting the pie. 47 in. It's about the right time. Good. Good. I needed to throw that knife a little bit more outward. And once I saw he goes wide, that's when I need to decide to go to the primary. So 100 in. Wait on my 5-second timer. He's not going to fight until he's full, so. Solar nade out. That's why I slid right there, that timing. Swarm out. Radar lost, just wait for it. Yeah. He got impatient. He could have extended that for 30 seconds by himself, and I could have got Frenzy off one person. That's fine. Again, not playing with your food. There was a possibility that Frenzy kicked in on that last shot. So this is just mechanical right here. The better shot you are, the more likely you are to hit those really long shots, which starts your timer earlier and might be the difference maker between the perk being dead in the water and specifically activated. So yeah, think about that. If I landed one shot on that Warlock earlier, that would have been Frenzy, and that body shot might have been a kill. No misdirect either. Huge. Black Talon dealt with. Covering 2 spawns at once with my damage extension. Beautiful. Alright, I think this shows that this isn't some, like, crazy task to activate. You can play somewhat semi-normally, and the perk will take you as far as you can take it. Again, think, put pressure. Don't necessarily be aggressive. If you're going to be aggressive, you have to have chip damage in with your team. All right. Hope you start internalizing some of this. Good luck. Let me know how this goes. And you don't have to use Gemini Jester. It can be a stasis turret. It can be a burning build with necrotic grips. There's a lot of creativity that can come with activating this perk. So let me know what works best for you, and I will see you in the next one.